Right, Mustang fans and surrounding areas, it's softball season, and we're back to doing the podcast. In tonight's podcast, we're going to be talking Ingleside Lady Mustangs softball. And on the screen, I have the head coach there for the Lady Mustangs, Kevin Lewis. Coach, how's it going?
Doing well, trying to get ready for our tournament. And as always, thanks for having me. We're excited that district's right around the corner.
It is. You're gonna have a busy next couple of days, starting with tomorrow. We'll get coaches' thoughts on the tournament, the teams that'll be coming in. So if you guys are around the area and want to watch some good teams, some good softball, definitely come on out to Ingleside. It was good last year. It'll be good this year with some of the teams that'll be coming around. There'll be some local teams. There'll be some teams that'll be coming from afar. We'll get coach to tell us who's all coming, and it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And like they got like a home run derby too, correct?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
On
so
Thursday and Friday.
Absolutely. So definitely, if you're around the area, you got nothing to do, and you want to watch some good softball, definitely come out to Ingleside. Coach, obviously, we haven't talked since last year, right? You had a great run last year with that team, and obviously, I want to get Coach's thoughts here on the podcast about that special season that they had, because I think this is the first time in Ingleside softball history that a team has gone that far. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So awesome, coach. You did a great job. Your assistants did a great job preparing the girls. I was able to go and call some of those games. And I mean, some of your younger players grew up right in front of our eyes last year, right? So we expect big things from them. Expecting Ingleside to make another deep playoff run, possibly this time get to the state championship game. We'll get coach's thoughts on all of that. Before I start asking coach questions, though, I want to let everyone know that this podcast is being sponsored by Miss Softball Program. So it's a softball program. They're right there out of Ingleside. I think it was created, established. I think around 2019. Abel Salazar. I know he's got other people that help him, but Abel's the one that I talked to. Does a great job. I've known Abel for many years. I'm sure a lot of people in Ingleside know, but he does a great job with this program, helping the young youth get better, learning the fundamentals and teaching. I wanted to thank him for the sponsorship tonight. And I don't want to say much about the program because I'm wanting to invite him at some point here on the MPND Sports Network to talk to us about his program. Right now, he's busy and I'm busy, but we're going to try to make it happen. Quick podcast just to give him a platform where he can talk about his program because I think he's doing some great things. So, Coach, let's jump right into the questions. Right, you're still at the school, so I need to get you home so you can have some dinner. I don't want to keep you too late because you got to be back early in the morning. You got a big tournament tomorrow, starting tomorrow. But let's reflect back, Coach, to last year. Right, so you and I talked. We talked. I did some games out there, and obviously some playoff games. But what a season last year! I mean, we saw some of the freshman girls really grow up, step up. You needed that to happen to get as far as you did. They did. But what a season! What one game away from the state? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that season. Just reflect back how special that season was last season for you, and some of those girls, how special they were, and how they got better every game, every practice.
Yeah. It was a whirlwind of a season. We had some ups and downs. We usually talk about being consistent. We know when we played SGA, I know we talked after that game, and looking back on it this year, I kind of feel like thinking to myself that we were pretty good because that's a good team. That was a big statement win for us, and then losing some 1-0 games to our rival and not winning district kind of was some of the downs of the season. But I felt like once we got in the playoffs, we kind of hit our stride. I didn't watch game three until the day before we started, so January 8th. Um, I was telling the girls today that I cried all the way from San Antonio back to Ingleside after. If you know me, you've heard that before already. So it's no secret. And then I really didn't want to see a softball for about 2 months. It hurt that bad, but kind of watching that game. before our season this year kind of flushed it all out and made me very proud of our team because watching that game, we were playing really well. I know that we belonged. No one can take that away. Um, but getting a runner thrown out in the bottom of the eighth kind of hurt, because that was the winner to go play at Austin for the ring. And I think Robinson ended up winning like 11-1, and that's not guaranteeing that we would have won. Um, but that just showed how competitive we were and how good we were. And it took the young ones, to help. But it was a lot of the seniors that delivered when we needed it most. And we had a good balance of old and young. This year, I feel like we're more young than old because we've only really had one senior playing so far. So and one junior, and then the rest are all sophomores and freshmen. Um, so we got a long way to go this year, but thinking back to last year, it was a fun ride, and I'm so proud of that team. And no one could take away, what they did.
You can't. And watching, when you guys got into that second round, I said, okay, if Ingleside's going to make this deep play, a deep run, they're going to need the seniors were great, but you're going to need those freshmen. I think you had three or four freshmen who you had seen had some hits. But I said they're really going to need them to step up. They, to me, really grew up in the playoffs when the pressure was on. They delivered when the pressure was on, and I remember thinking, "Wow, these girls are just right." They were in middle school last year, and man, they're playing like they were born to play in this game, right? The pressure never seemed to get them. If you needed a big hit in a big game in the third round, one of those girls delivered, right? So I think as a coach, you knew you had that bottom part of that lineup where I think when teams face the Ingleside, you have your seniors, your top of your lineup, but these younger girls that were on the bottom half of that lineup could also hit just as good as the top, right? So it really seemed like Ingleside hit their stride really in the playoffs where they really came together for me. And I said, wow, they have no weakness. I remember calling the game going and I was like, they have no weak. There's no weak. Everyone can hit here. So take your pick. Where do you want to go with this team? And it was great to see. And I know what you're talking about, the play. But coach, to me, you got to take that chance when it's there, right? You don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, if there's and I thought about it. If I was that coach, what would I'd have done the same thing because you have to take that chance, right? It's a bobble, it's a throw that maybe is a little off, and it didn't happen for us. But you're right. I think that they just competed and they definitely belong, no doubt about that.
Well, I
Um,
did. I mean, I told Ruby was another freshman, so she's the fifth freshman, and now she's playing this year. But I told her can't remember who got on. It might have been Dara. I can't remember who got on, but I remember telling Ruby if that person gets on, I'm putting you in to run. She's our fastest kid, and I said you're going to score the winning run to send us to state. And so I had in my mind that if it came down to it, I was going to bring her home. And they just made a play. I mean, they beat us at that moment.
Yeah, it had to be a good throw, and it was. But like I said, I you got to take that chance in that moment. You may not have it again, right? So you take the chance. But I really thought that the girls grew up. I think the chemistry got stronger. I think it was always there, but I saw during the playoffs where they really started to click at the right time. And it was really fun to see. I don't just think it was the community of Ingleside, but when you get to deep in the playoffs, the whole Coastal Bend is cheering for you, right? Like everyone's cheering for you. These girls know each other well. They play in the off season together, so they compete with each other. But when one of these teams gets to the point where Ingleside got last year, the whole Coastal Bend area is cheering you guys on. And it was fun to watch. It was fun to go out there and call those games and it was fun to watch. And so, all right, Coach. Well, that was great. That was a good little reminiscence of last year. Now let's get to this year. Right, Kylee Ward is back. We're going to talk about her, but before we get into the players and the roster this year, Your assistant coaches. Can you talk a little bit about them? Are they the same ones from last year, or do we have some new ones?
We have one of the same. He'll be making it back tomorrow, which is Coach Mark Spencer. He's the head boys basketball. Unfortunately, they got knocked out on Monday, and he's kind of been getting stuff put away and closing that book. So he'll be here tomorrow. So we hadn't really had him yet, and then we have Coach Gavileen Longoria, who was teaching in San Antonio last year, but she's from Aransas. She played catcher for Aransas Pass, and she's helping us out this year.
Awesome, awesome. Let's talk about the non-district. Let's get into the season and talk a little bit about the season, and then we'll get to the roster. You always go to a pretty tough tournament every year. You did it last year. I thought it paid off last year for us. Pretty much like last year, if you go to this tournament, you're probably not going to have your full team or your full coaches because Coach Spencer obviously is with basketball. He could be in the playoffs. And then the girls had a pretty good run here at playoffs as well. So you didn't have your full team going over there. You play all these tough teams, right? I never really look at the record because I look at the teams. But when you put the Lady Mustangs in tournaments like this, what are you hoping to get? I mean, you want the W's, but outside of the W's, what do you want the girls to learn when they're playing these tough teams out there?
Yeah, it's College Station. I believe is probably the best tournament you can go to, in my opinion. There's like 96 teams, I believe, um, and a lot of big schools. 6A. Um, I believe we're 8-6 on the year, and all six losses are against 6A teams. But the record is what it is. We like to go for the competition, but we like being in the area. We get to take them to Olive Garden, get to travel, kind of bond. But also, like we played uh, teams from El Paso and Dallas. Like you just see different varieties and things that you can learn from those big schools that we can bring back here that'll help us in district and in the playoffs. And we just we just like competing against the bigger schools early. I can't brag this year like last year about facing D1 players. No offense to the teams we played, they were very good, but I didn't see or hear any of the coaches, saying that one's going to Kansas or that one's going here like last year. Um, but I believe all the teams we played had at least 20 wins last year, so that says a lot.
It just says a lot, and and I think last year, I think playing that tough competition that you went to really helped the girls, especially the young ones. That I mean, once you get in there, you see that fast pitching, the running, the speed, and everything, and then you come back. We've already seen tough pitching. We've already seen how hard it is. So I think it really helps the girls, especially the young girls, develop. They see that great talent out there, the great teams. I mean, you're playing teams that have 20, 19, 20 wins, right? Like that says a lot. So when you come down here and you play in your district, which is tough, and we'll get into that here in a bit, but you've already seen tough pitching. You've already seen that. So I think it helps the team. And I think this year it's going to help the Lady Mustangs as well. Coach, before we continue with district and these other questions, I want to talk a little bit about the player roster. Obviously, we've lost, I know Carol Rodriguez, the second baseman, shortstop. We lost our catcher. So there was some loss, obviously. Talk a little bit about some of the returning players that we have and some new additions that we're going to see on the field this year for the varsity team.
Well, right now, Leilani Smith is out with an injury. We're not sure exactly if or when we get her back. If we get her back and get her going, that'll help. She got all state as a bat last year. but filling in for her is Lana Walker, who was our DP last year. So she kind of goes into third. Um, a name you probably remember is Kylee Ward, who was our left fielder.
Mhm.
She has now moved to short. Um, she's doing a really good job. She's real athletic. Um, we were kind of trying everybody in fall and winter for shortstop, and she was the one I landed on. And she's a yes sir kind of player. I think I've said that before. So she's doing a great job at short. And then Dara's returning at first. Ward's the pitcher. Brooke Hardcastle's our catcher this year. She caught early in the year last year when Maddie was in basketball. So she has a little bit of experience. And I don't really imagine there'll be that much drop off. She's been learning since she was a freshman. She's a junior now. Um, she's doing a great job of holding runners. And then with Leilani out, we were going to move Leilani to second. But since she's out, we had Mia Salazar step in. She's a freshman. She's been playing for a long time, and she's done a great job at second. And then Kiki Smith was our center fielder last year. She just came back to us on Saturday after basketball. So she'll be back there, and then she'll be the number two pitcher this year. I think that's kind of what hurt us the most in College Station is we didn't have our two and three pitchers, so we were kind of down to just one and four. And then Ruby, I talked about earlier, she's going to be in the outfield, and then we're kind of open up competition in right. We've had Kai Sanchez played there when she was a sophomore. She didn't have the chance to play last year, but she's just coming from basketball, so she'll have opportunity. And then Paisley Skinner's a freshman, hit a grand slam last Saturday, I believe. So if she gets a hold of it, it goes far. Um, and then we had a move in from Rockdale, Naomi Madrano, who's going to get a shot that she played last night. Um, so right now, right field's kind of up in the air. We're trying to see still who's going to win that spot.
Well, obviously, Lilani, I remember her. We had her on the podcast last year. She's a big loss if she can't come back this year. But I have read, obviously, I follow every game that Ingleside has, and Mia Salazar has been impressive. I've seen the numbers. She's been playing for a long time. And of course, I remember the others. And then you've got, as long as Kylie's in the circle, you're always going to have a shot, right? Because like she was
Yes,
really
sir.
good last year. We actually hope when Coach comes on next week, that's who we're wanting to bring back. So if Kylie's available, we'll have her on the podcast next week to talk about the last year's experience, and then obviously this season as well. So, Coach, it seems like you're set. I mean, you've lost some seniors, yes. But I like what you said in terms of who's playing in the infield. There's still a lot of runs. This offense is going to be really, really good. And some of these girls that you mentioned are going to be here in another 3 or 4 years. I mean, Kylie will be gone after this year. Obviously, that is going to be a huge loss. But as far as offensively, what I've seen last year, these girls are going to be around for at least this year and 2 more years. So this program is going to be really good. And that's awesome to see. Hopefully, we do plan to be out there. I do want to say we do plan to. So there is the Cal Allen game that's coming up here in about 2 weeks, right? So we are looking to be out there on that game. I've already asked to have that day off. Hopefully, I'll get that granted. It's going to be an early game, but we're looking to stream that game. I've talked to Coach, so if everything works out, we'll definitely be out there streaming. We hope everyone comes out. It's a big game. But if you can't make it or you want to see it and you're too far, I'll let you know where you guys can watch that game because we definitely are going to be there to stream that game. So we'll also be looking for sponsorships. So I'll be going into Ingleside here on Friday and Saturday and throughout next week, looking for businesses. If you're looking to sponsor that Cal Allen Ingleside game, I'll have the package there for you, game day package. If you like it, you can advertise your business on our our live stream. So I'll be down there talking to some businesses. Coach, let's get into last night's game. Obviously, it was a very close game. San Diego, I didn't know much about San Diego. Don't know how good or not good they are. But we were in a fight last night. We won 6-5. Talk to us a little bit about that game, if you will. The top of your order was really good. They hit the ball. Kylie had the double digit strikeout last night. No surprise there. What did you see from your team in that win last night?
Yeah, I don't think we played our best, honestly. We left too many people on base. I'm trying to see if I can find those numbers. Yeah, we left 9 people on base. So we get a big hit here and there. We make it 8-9 to 3 at the one point, you know. Um, so we got to get better at situational hitting. I know that. I think the defense played pretty well. But I think pitching
Hmm.
wise, she had 12 Ks. Um, but I don't feel like she had her best stuff. Um, and maybe I didn't have my best night either calling the pitches. I probably didn't help her. Um, but we got the win, and that's what matters. San Diego's scrappy. You know, they're in the same district with Bishop, London, SGA, so it's not like them playing us is going to overwhelm them. You know, like they play good teams all the time. And they were scrappy. They're well coached. But I just think we left too many people on base. We didn't capitalize um, when we needed to, and that was probably the story of the game. I need to do better calling pitches too.
Well, I know when you look at, when I look at Kylie's stats, I'm always expecting, double digit strikeouts and low hits. So when you see that double digit hit, you're like, whoa, that wasn't her best game, right? But coach, that they're not all they're gonna have some games where you're not gonna have your A game, but they found a way to win it, and that was key, right? We didn't have our best game pitching, and we left some players on, but when it mattered, we got the hit, we got the run, we got the win, and really that's what's important. And that's what I look at when I look at teams, right? Is that when you're clicking, obviously it's easy to win unless you're playing another tough team. But the chances are when the team is clicking, you're going to win. It's when you are not clicking, can you dig deep down to get that win? And Ingleside ended up getting the W instead of the L, so that was awesome, awesome to see. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the pitcher, Kylee Ward. I mean, anybody that's ever seen her knows, um, you know, she's great. I said it last year, one of the best pitchers in this area. No doubt about that. Um, you've seen her when she first started. She's been in your program. This is the final year. You've seen her get better. What can you tell us for people that are going to watch this podcast and they've never heard of Kylie Ward? They've never seen her pitch. Um, how would you describe her in that circle? Like, what makes her so good?
Uh, the most impressive thing is her competitiveness. She wants to win. That's probably her biggest attribute. And then I just feel like she trusts me and I trust her, and that goes a long way. Um, and she's pretty smart at picking up things. We've been kind of going like we went and scout some of the district teams at the IWA, and she's sitting there telling me because I get distracted easy, but she's sitting there telling me what the pitches are when they throw it. And I went to UT this past year. Uh, the new kid that they got, the pitcher and from Grant, I
Wells,
think
Wells.
Kahoma. Who?
You talking about the Longhorns?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got that girl from Kahoma, Wells.
Um, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hannah Wells.
Anna Wells. Yeah, I
Hannah
watch her.
Wells was doing a pitch. so I'm gonna give this away, but it's still a work in progress. But I said, hey, can I video you on how to throw that pitch? And very nice kid, very humble, yes sir, and tells me exactly what to do. And all I did was show Ward, and she picked it up pretty fast. So she's pretty smart at what she's doing. Like, she knows her craft. But the biggest thing is she's just a competitor. And if you watch the series against Robinson, she gave everything she had and more. And we couldn't be more proud of her.
No, she's been awesome. I don't want to give too much away. She will be playing at the next level, but I didn't want to give everything away. I didn't want to say anything until we get her next. I know you'll be on the podcast, and when we have her on, we'll definitely get her thoughts and all that. But Kylee Ward will be playing softball at the next level, and we'll get all that information next week. Hopefully, when she or whenever she's available, we're going to invite her next week. But I don't know how busy she is, but whenever we can get her on, we'll definitely ask her all those questions. But Coach, you've been blessed to have one of the best pitchers in this area to be there at Ingleside and for you to be able to witness the growth, right? Because she's grown. I've talked to her dad, obviously her mom. She only plays softball. She didn't play any other sports. It's softball 24/7, 365 is what she told me last year. And so, and you can definitely tell. And I would tell people in the Ingleside area, if you've never come out to see this Ingleside softball team, I did last year, and I follow them this year as well. There's a lot of talent on this team. It's just amazing what I saw last year. But Kylee Ward, I see that same competitiveness in her. Right, she wants to win at any cost, and she puts the work in. That's the beautiful thing. She'll put the work in. When the season's over, it's not over for her. She's right back at it. How can she get better? And if you haven't had the opportunity to see one of the best pitchers in the history of Ingleside, you got to come out this year because you ain't going to see her next year because she graduates. So make that a point to come out, support the Lady Mustangs, but watch this team. They're great from pitching to the whole team, right? It's very close. And it was really great that I got to see close up and interview Coach and these girls that come on the podcast. I want to thank them to get to know them a lot better. But this is a great team. So I'll tell you, if you haven't come out, come on out and support the Lady Mustang softball. You won't be disappointed. A lot of talent. Coach, let's get your thoughts on district. Um,
Let me say one more thing about Ward too. Like some players, they think once they feel like they have arrived, or um, you know they maybe think they're too good. She's probably one of the first ones out at the field setting up hitting stations, and um, getting the balls ready. Like, she's come a long way as far as being a leader too. I want to brag on her about being a leader this year, because I've kind of harped on her the last few years, and I feel like now that she's a senior, it's like this is my team, and she's really taken that to heart.
Awesome. Awesome. No, I've seen it and I've talked to her and it's awesome to see. And I wish her much success. And we're going to continue to watch her at the next level too, right? Because, you know, I'd love to see the talent that's in this coastal Bend area, no matter if it's football or no matter if it's basketball. Young talent, it's always good to see. You just go out there and watch them. You hear about them and you watch them. You talk about Hannah Wells, right? I watch the Texas Longhorns consistently. Like, I'm a Longhorn fan, right? But I watch her. I like Tegan. I mean, Reese Atwood's having a great season, right? Like, I love watching. And coach, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, I wasn't even into softball. I'd read the paper, what the softball team do. That was as far as I came to softball. I like watching baseball and football, and I was a football dude, right? Like, I like watching it. That first year, I started watching softball. I'd watch the player run up and hit. And I said, "Man, what are they doing?" Like, I was asking some dumb questions, but people were looking, "What are you talking about?" I didn't know because I never watched the game, right? So they would run, and it seemed like, why are they running to hit the ball? So people had to sit down and explain this to me. Well, this is what it's called, and this is why they do it. Once I got to know the game and why they do certain things, I started watching it so much more. It wasn't even high school. I watch it up here. I'm watching it, consistently. I get home from work and boom, I'm putting it on. Who's playing? I multi-view this stuff. I've got 4 games going on at one time. Like that's how much I've come to love softball. And so yeah, I'm bought into softball all the way, coach.
It's a
Um,
great game. It is a great game. I'm like you. I was baseball all the way, and then somehow I got talked into being a head coach, and it was only supposed to be for that half a year, and here it is 11 years later.
Yeah, and but you're doing a great job, right? Like it's great. It's great. It's a smaller field, I think, and I like the small ball. They play small ball. I love the small ball. Like there's just a lot to the game. I love the speed. Because to me, when you hit that ball, you don't have a lot of. You got to pick it up cleanly and throw it. I mean, like some of those throws to first base, like it is so close, right, of being safe or out. Like there's room for error is just this much small.
Yeah.
So I love all of that. I love the small ball. I love the speed. There's just a lot about the game that I love. And tell you, I still love football more, but softball, man, it's catching up. It's gaining there, because when it comes, I get just as excited for softball season as I do for football season.
Yes, sir.
The district, you know how tough it is. Last year, it was a battle between you guys and Rockport, and I got to tell you, I love both of those games. Right, like that was the best pitching. I knew, man, both of these, whatever offense can get going first, and it was one hit here that really determined the game. Right, like both pitchers from Rockport and Kylee Ward were just like straight on, and it's gonna be like that again this year, I think, and it's awesome. Can't wait to see it. But now you have a Beeville team that I'm keeping a close eye on. Boy, they look a lot better this year to me. I haven't seen them play, but I'm watching them. I'm reading their articles. They look like they're a lot better this year than they were last year. Sinton is always around. They're coached very well with Coach Trotman out there, so that you always got to come and play your best game against them. I'm not sure what Calhoun has. I want to get your thoughts coming into the district. How are the girls preparing? How are you preparing them? Is it any different this year? Don't want you to tell me what is you doing, but is it anything different that you're preparing for the district this year versus last year?
Well, I mean, nothing different. We feel like we're probably the team that everybody wants to beat because of how far we went.
Hmm?
So our saying this year is humble and hungry. And and basically we've seen that. Like when we were in College Station, like we got everybody's ace, probably because they looked and saw what we did last year. So we know, like you said, um, all the coaches in this district are very good. So we know that all the teams are going to be well coached. Um, we know that we're going to have to get better this tournament and then on Monday because Sinton is going to be ready to go and we're going to have to travel to them. And then Calhoun, I've watched them. They're very much improved. They're going to be tough. They can pitch. They got hitters up and down the lineup. They got I don't know her name, but um, they got a homeschool girl that lived there, but now is playing, going to school in Calhoun as a sophomore.
Mm.
Um, Kind of reminds me of Rockport's catcher last year. She's got an arm like that she could hit. And then they have Pena back. I know they had a little uh, problems last year because I think she moved and then came back. So I've seen them play. They're very tough. We'll have that one at home, and then we'll have a couple weeks off, which will be good before we go to Beeville. And that's a prideful program. Coach Burkett has actually been to 2 state tournaments. And like you said, they've improved. And then after that, it'll be Coach Reyes and Rockport over there. So 3 of the first 4 games are on the road, and we've already talked about how it's very difficult to win on the road compared to at home. So we're gonna have to get better now, before we hit the second round.
And talking about getting better, you've got a tournament starting tomorrow right there in your backyard. Talk to us a little bit about this tournament. You had it last year. What are some of the teams? How many teams are coming? And if you can just let us know, I know you sent me the schedule. What are
Let me
some of
get.
the teams that are going to be coming out to play? Because last year there was some pretty good teams, good competition. So it's going to be fun to come out and watch. 3 days, 3 days of softball right there in Ingleside.
Yes, sir. Well, Rockport's in it. Um, but that's probably the most local one.
Okay.
Um, and then Kingsville's in. Those are the two close. And then Pleasanton is coming down. We got Zapata is new to the tournament. They're coming down. Henderson is back.
Hmm.
My buddy John White is the coach there. They're driving 8 hours. I think they're just now getting in to Portland. They're staying in Portland. Um, Colorado City's another team. They're 2A, but I believe they won 25 games last year. They reached out to me in the summer, and then I met them at the All-Star game. So they're happy to come. And then Jim Ned is another one that's been here for a while. I think they're ranked in 3A. Then Chaparral and Caney Creek are 5 and 6A. And then Wimberley's back. And then Godley is another one that reached out. That's they're 4A and they're ranked number 10 in 4A. So they're right ahead of us. And then Somerset's another team, and Jordanton is another team that we got. And I don't remember if I mentioned Hebronville. Hebronville is also in. So 16 teams this year. We lost Cuero and Lavernia. Um, they had different circumstances that wouldn't allow them to come. Those were two of my favorite coaches. So I'm hoping to get them back so we can get to 18, and then I'll probably cut it off. Oh, I didn't mention PSJ North is back, the same as last year. Another great coach. So it's a good tournament. Good reps for all the teams. We got the home run derby. Uh, 5 players get picked. They get 8 swings. Crank up the music and see who can hit the most out. I know uh, usually when it's their first time, they get a little nervous. But then, like all the ones that's done it before, they're all ready for it, and they have a great time. So we're looking forward to it. But we all know that this is the last tournament to get ready for district. So it's crunch time.
Yeah, you're gonna see some good pitching. Obviously, the teams that are coming from afar are gonna put their best pitchers out there, right, to get them ready for district because everyone starts district at the same time, pretty much. So you're not gonna see people are coming down here. You're going to see some good pitching. You're gonna see some good hitting because they got to get those reps in before district starts. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's 3 day tournaments, or 3 days, right there in Ingleside, where you can come see some softball. Coach, when is the
And,
first game? What time's the first game start tomorrow?
9 a.m. will be Ingleside and Pleasanton, Rockport and Hebronville, and Henderson and Wimberley. So some good games to start it off. And looking at the weather, we're looking at highs of 83 and a low of 66, pretty much in that range for the 3 days. So beautiful weather too. So
It's a beautiful, yeah, it couldn't have gotten any better for you. And like I said, it's not too hot, not too cold. So come on out, support the tournament, number one, right? But come out and watch some good softball. Got a lot of teams. You get to see talent. I don't know what the other teams are bringing. I know what Rockport has. I know what Ingleside has. I don't know what the other teams have. So you get to come out and see and support the tournament, which is great. And then, of course, like Coach said, the very after this tournament, district starts, right? And we talked about district, and if you're around this area and you've been following these teams the last couple of years, this district is really, really good. It's really competitive. You go out there, it's not a one team that's guaranteed where people I think can say, hey, that team, I mean, no one's got a chance to beat them. It's you got to come out here. You see great offenses, you see great defenses, and you see great pitching. And a lot of these teams have those pitchers. So you would definitely want to come out, support your team, but come watch some great softball. And coach, hopefully we'll be back next week. As I said, we're gonna schedule him back next week, and we hope to have Kylee Ward, the pitcher there for the Lady Mustangs, join us next week. And again, these podcasts are pre-recorded, but this one will be uploaded here later tonight, and you can catch that on the MPND, all the our platforms. That's our YouTube channel, that's our Facebook, that's our Twitter. It's even on Spotify as well. We put it on TikTok, and you can even now see it on Discord as well. So there's a lot of ways you can see it. So if I say, well, I'm just on Twitter, it's on Twitter. Well, I just use YouTube, or you can see it. So there's no reason why you won't be able to see this a podcast. And then I ask you to share it, right? Share it to your timeline. Let's get more eyes. And that's the whole goal why we do it, is so more people can see the talent. And then coach talks about the program and his players. So when you get an opportunity, if you like what we're doing, you like the podcast, please share it. Share it. Let's get more eyes on the podcast. Coach, thank you for coming out. I took longer than I said I was going to do. We got into playing the softball. You're still at the school. I got to get you home. You got a long day, but I appreciate you coming out and spending some time with me. We hope to have you back next week. We'll set something up, but I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, we just love talking softball, so it ain't a big deal. And I thank you for having me, and looking forward to you having the players and letting them, get on. I think it really builds character, so that when they go to college, if they're taking speech or whatever, they can
Right.
kind of fall back on this and remember what it's like to speak in front of people. So we thank you for what you're doing, and continuing to put Ingleside softball on the map.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No problem. I'm looking forward to a great season. Good luck in the tournament, coach, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. Yes, sir.